If y'all want to reach out, how do we pronounce your name? Let me try. Wait, let me try.
Mtwana Wabantu.
Okay.
Mtwana Wabantu.
Mtwana Wabantu. Okay.
Yes, watching here, they can learn from me that relationship is very, very important. And sometimes don't look about today. You might scam somebody maybe $1, but you don't know who that person is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the thing too, that for many a years I've always been that person to try to link, hook up, pass on, or help people, because I used to know a lot of people, right?
Everyone, my name is Tiko. The reason why I'm doing this video is because of Umtwana Wabantu. It's because of the help of Umtwana Wabantu. Umtwana Wabantu is a nice guy who helps people like me who don't afford torture.
And that's exactly what you're saying, is that, these people who are scammers and try to get over on people, and all they're doing is living from day.
Is that Mike? Is that, hold on, it look like some, what's your name, bro, at the bottom right? Mtwana. Right? Mtwana.
I don't know how to say it.
I apologize. My mic was muted. I apologize. I'm sorry.
It's okay. What's up, y'all?
Not much cool. Hey man, I watch you all the time. I just want to give my thanks to you, man. Cause me and my lady.
You said kind of gangster when you said that. I know a lot of people that make your transition easy, if you know what I'm saying. That's what you said, kind of gangster when you said that. I don't know. I'm just joking. No, I really do appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much.
You see the thing? So I thought to talk some, to especially to Africa, black people, in the continent, where I'm from. So as far as my research and my experience and what I've seen in my entire life, let me start by saying this, right? Wherever you see Arabs, wherever they go, or Indians, or Chinese, what they do, they embrace their culture, their religions, where they come from, their name, norms, and tradition, right? And I respect that. Wherever they go, you not see Arabs start to embrace, let's say, Christianity, or you not see Arabs come to Africa start to embrace Zulu. No, they're not doing that. Okay, if I ask you, can you give me, I don't need 100 or 1,000, can you give me 5 or 10 Arabs inside Arabia or Middle East who embrace Zulu culture, or Maasai culture, or Igbo culture, or Xhosa culture, or Wolof tradition, or ways of life? If you can just give me 5, I don't need 1,000, just give me 5. So when they go to Senegal, Gambia, Tanzania, South Africa, it could be Arabs, it could be Indians, it could be Jews, it could be Chinese. They embrace their own religions, their own names, Xing Shang. To be specific, more Arabs, Indians, they embrace their own religions, their own practice, norm, and tradition. So how comes we, look, like I say, this video is only for free thinkers. Only people can think critical, right? You see me, I'm a young man, right? You see, maybe you can say I'm elder. I don't know, however you can say, like, no, you're not young man, you're too old, however you can call me. But I think it's critical. So what were we believing before Arabs, or before the colonizer came, or before colonial time? or before slave time, means we had our own religions, we had our own practice. So most of we African, we practice other people religions, other people's norms and culture. We live ours because we're oppressed sometimes. So during that oppression time, for the most cases, we are forced to live ours, by force. If it's not, you are getting brutal treatment. Either some of them they'll even get killed for the most cases. So this is what we end up having: Arabs names, Arabs or Arabs, however you can call it, Arabs names. Some places you find African have Indian names. Some places you find African have Christian names. So like I say, this video is only for free thinkers, people thinking critical. So you tell me, before the colonial, before Arabs came, or before colonizer came, we had the Christian names and Muslim names. I'm just asking, maybe somebody can help me, man. Like, for example, if you can look at the ancient city like Benin City, Mali, Timbuktu, Benin City is in Nigeria. Also the ancient city, this is one of the top ancient cities in Africa. Benin City, Nigeria. Also there's another city called Kilwa. It's in southern Tanzania. It was one of the major cities in Africa during 11th century. It was one of the major cities. It was ruled by the Oman Sultanate. And then Portuguese came and took over. And then another city. This is like 5 cities. So before the Oman or before the British came, means we had our own practices. We had our own beliefs. But because of the slave history, colonial history, we had to change names based on those slave masters. Because if you work under the slave masters, you have to have the names of the slave masters. You see, I don't understand why it's hard for the African to connect the dots. And it surprised some of the people that came and started to fight me here for me to tell them, hey, try to think critical. You had your own practice, you had your own religions, you had your own norms and tradition. But why you not going back to the history and start to embrace your own ways of life? Because as far as I see, the Arabs and this is British, for the most case, or French or Belgium, came to these African countries. This is why when you go to places like Angola, they have a Portuguese names, most of them. I have a lot of my friends. Most of my friends are from Angola. A lot of my friends I went to school with. And most of them, the culture, like as far as culture, how to practice, how to eat, they're more like Portuguese. The names, I have friends in Mozambique, they don't even know their own culture, like as far as they only speak Portuguese pure. I asked one of my friends, he from Mozambique, hey, what's your African language? He say, we don't have, now the government is trying, to restore the African practice, stuff like that. So we had lots of our cultures, traditional norms and religions that we had before the colonial time, before the slave time, before the invasion. I need to correct, not invasion. Before the invasion, before the Congo, our major city, during 11th and 12th century. I'm talking about the Arabs and Portuguese. Portuguese came around 13th, 14th century. Please, you can correct me. So now, my question that I'm asking myself a lot of times. So the Arabs, Indians, Portuguese, and these other nationalities, when it comes to Africa, they want us to do believe in the religion. Christianity, Muslim, Hinduism. And the Africa don't even question like, hey, look, we don't want this. We have our own practice. And it's funny that sometimes when you try to defend these brothers, they get mad at you. It's like you're the one who's seen who's misbehaved. I have a problem a little bit with I had a problem with my family because they see me. I'm the one who's confused, who don't know the history. Because look, and I look at them like, no, something's wrong with them because they're not going dig down to their own history. I'll give an example. Most of us in Africa, right? When you're born young, if your father is Christian or is Catholic or is Muslim, let's say he's Christian, right? He's a Catholic. When you're young, when you're 5th grade, what you do every Sunday or every Saturday, you gotta go to church. No reason, no question. So you grew up as a Catholic. If you Baptist or 7 Days Adventist church, when you're young, you go to church every Saturday. So that's what you grew up believing in. If you're Muslim, right, every day you're gonna have to go to madras, right, and do 5 times prayer because daddy doing that. And you wear like coffee, and do the prayer because daddy doing that. Every Friday, go to the big mosque, man, pray, man, because daddy doing that. So we just do based on how we raise. And you go to school, to the high school, primary school, you associate with the people of similar religions. Like you see them, these are my brother. Then I see ourselves as, no, look, we're African or we're people from the continent. It does not matter where because, you know, Africa, there's a diversification, there's a different type of phenotypes. So we could have put face, we continental, because these issues of putting religious face, the religious which we were given by oppressors. And now our mind get corrupted because we function based on our religions. This is why personally I have a lot of respect for my brother and sister who are either Christian or Muslim or whatever they believe, but I'm not believing that no more. Why? I gave them my reason because I went back to the history, man, and look, man, this is not like this, and this is based on my own research that I'm doing right now. Because I do a lot of research, man, going back to the root, like, okay, where I come from. Before the missionary come, what was I believe? Before the Arab comes from this country, let's say on the eastern coast of Africa, or western coast of Africa, like Ghana, Nigeria, you see, or when Portuguese before they came in the southeast, southwest and southeast places like Mozambique and Angola. Means we had our own practice, man. And that's what I want to dig down, like what went wrong that we had to quit or leave our practice. I'll give you a simple example. This is recently, man, things a few months ago. And look, man, this is not to say bad about Christian, Muslim. Look, I have a lot of love for my Christian brother, for my Muslim brother. You know, in past life, man, a lot of my Christian, Muslim friends and brother, they helped me a lot. You see, I wouldn't be in this situation without their help. You see, they're very special, man, and I respect they believe, their practice, but this is me just to think freely. Like, where I come from, where am I coming from, man? And where am I coming from? Where my great daddy, what? Or great mom and dad, what were they believing? I questioned my father recently, but I didn't expect my father is kind of very conscious, patient, open mind. He started to break down for me, say, look, son, I didn't know that he's very open mind, and I never thought he knew. Like, he started to tell me, look, we had our own practice before they came, before grand. And then when religious came, somehow, because in my family you have a different people, some are Muslim, some are Christian. So even give me example, some of our grandfather, mom, my grandma's family, some of them are Christian, some of them Muslim. And he told me, look, you see these other family relative of ours, they are Christian because they had a time we had to choose. Some are Christian, and you see this family of ours, they're Muslim because some of them have to choose. And you see you now, right now, you choose to become, or you decided to believe in indigenous ways of life. See, and he respect me for that. You see? So what I'm saying is, I ask you a very simple question. Can you show me? Because as far as I see, the Arabs come to a continent, or when you go to some countries in Africa, man, we do not see African indigenous studies or African indigenous embracing, like especially Southern East. People are losing their culture, man. People, they want to be Americanized, or they want to be Arab-centric. I think you understand when I say Arab-centric. It's more like believing more in Arabic instead of embracing theirs. Because my question is, why that the Arabs in the Middle East, they have their own names and they have their own religions, culture and norms, but when they come to Africa, they don't want to adapt to ours, but they want to impose their religious culture and norm to us. That's the question. The missionary. You go to all these, especially, there's something that which upset me a lot. I'm going to have to say this, but I'll spare this for the next video. You find some people come and convert our indigenous people from local tribes to either the two religions, either Muslim or Christian. Like, oh, this is wrong. Leave this Maasai tribe or leave this Zulu tribe. Believe in Catholic or believe in Anglican or believe in Madras Islamic, and that's not right. Me as a indigenous believer of African or traditional ways, according to my own research, I feel like it suits me well. I feel like that's not right, and I'm gonna have to stand on this because it's a time for us to start to stand on our culture and norm and let people be known like, hey, this is not right. Because if I can live right now and go to Saudi Arabia in a Mecca or Medina and start to tell people like, hey, listen, I'm a Zulu brother, Dimtosa, or Maasai, you guys listen, don't believe in Muslim, start to practice Maasai, dress like Maasai and start to practice Maasai. You think what's going to happen to me? I can be sent to jail. Perhaps I can even get stoned to death. I go to Medina with Maasai outfit or with my Zulu outfit. They're not going to even let me get in the Medina or Mecca. And plus on top of that, tell them like, hey, look, I just came here. I come from Africa. I'm an African, believe in African ways of life. That's a perfect way of believing. So I want you guys to start to practice Maasai, Zulu, Igbo, Yoruba, Shona, Kenya, Rwanda, Konki, Congo, or Wolof, and I forgot his tribe, man, from Angola. Ndambi, Ndimba, I forgot. You can correct me. You think what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? I'm going to be in a big trouble. So how comes we let people come to the continent and just they do whatever they want? We need to build a wall, man. We need to build this wall. When I say wall, to provide protection to our culture, norms, and because you can't do that. Like, look, you cannot go to the waste world, like let's say United States or Canada, start doctrine people, because that's indoctrination. So, man, look, I don't want to make this this video very long, but we have a second part of the free thinker and the critical thinker. So, like I say, pay attention what I say. I want to keep disclaimer. I don't hate no Christian brother and sister, if that's what I choose. But I'm trying to do this to awake our brother and sister. I have respect for them, but I'm trying to reason and think like, if that's correct, or Muslim brother who go to madrasa 24/7, man, believe in Muslim, just like some are part of my family, some are part of my family, and some part of my family too. Some of them are Christian, some of them are Muslim, pure Muslim, man, just like how I was, in the past. But hey, I'm trying to do my research. Please don't get me wrong. I have a lot of respect for my Christian brother, for my Muslim brother. A lot of my friends, 99.9999% are these two religions. A lot of people helped me in the past. A lot, man. I can't even explain are from these two religions. But hey, I'm trying to do my research and find my inner self and where I come from. I'm trying to reason. I'm trying to connect the dot, and I don't have to apologize on how I feel, on what I want to believe. If, let me just add on top of it, if an Arab man believe in Arabs, I have a lot of respect for that man. If he embrace his Arabic culture, Arabic language, which is Arabs, he pray 5 times a day. He wear kofir. I have a lot of respect for that man because he embraced his. If an Englishman or European embrace Christianity, for example, the Italian, or you can call the country of Italy, or yeah, whatever you can call it, Italy or Italy, whatever you can call it, it depends on different pronunciation. If they embrace Catholic, where the Papa is a holy leader for them, I have a lot of respect for them because they embrace their culture and where they come from and how to race. Now, if an African person or African man, if they can embrace theirs, I will have a lot of respect for them. But as long as we respect the others and look down on others, and then that's how to say the problem is the mind of oppressed. So the problem is the mind of oppressed because they want to be other people so much, they don't want to be themselves. On the other side, you don't find the Arab embrace Maasai or Zulu or Xhosa or Kikongo or Wolof, Igbo, Yoruba. They don't embrace that. They don't want to hear it, man. They don't want to even associate with African culture because to them is kafir, misleading, lost. You must believe in their God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what it say. Same with Christianity. You're gonna have to believe in 7 Days Adventist Church. You're gonna have to believe in Catholic. You're gonna have to believe in Christian God. So why not Nigerian like Igbo, Yoruba? They have their own God like Ife, Tunde, Maasai. They have their own God. Odoinyo Lengai, that's Maasai. Zulu, Ngulungulu, Amanxhosa, Uthixo. They have their own God. These are gods of African places. And another question I got: why that we have to this is not fair at all, because now what happened is now we start to bring new religions, Chinese religions, and we're going to start to have a Chinese name because now we already have white names, Arabs names, and these other names. So now, because I had to introduce the Chinese syllabus in these African countries, so now the moment you start to learn another language, you never gonna speak like them. So you're gonna feel like you're oppressed. Like however you're gonna be speaking the Chinese, when you see the Chinese man, you say, "Oh, that is a real Chinese." You're gonna start to want to learn his language, how he practices, how he eats. My question: does the Chinese does the same thing in China? Learn this African culture like Zulu, Maasai, Dinka from South Sudan, Dinka tribe from South Sudan? They don't want to hear it. They don't tell you, no, this is dirty. Africa's dirty. No, dirty. Because they don't want to associate with your culture. But now you take the language, you start to practice this, and your people will feed you. Man, look, I never stop when I start to talk. Let's go to part 2. Thanks a lot, man. My name is Botswana, and I'm one of the lead of Indigenous Studies or Free Thinker. Hey, look, like I say, my disclaimer, I love my brother, sister, who believe in whatever they believe. This is what I feel. I'm trying to do is kind of a waking call for us to know where we come from in our own history. For that being said, thanks a lot. My name is Botswana. Peace and I'll see you soon.
Somebody asked, do you have a school? Because your YouTube name says Academy at the end.
Yeah. You see, there's a lot of corruption going on, and most of we black people in general, sometimes we don't want to accept the truth. Like there's a corruption, but a lot of people,
Give us all the languages you speak.
Yeah, I can speak Zulu. What you want me to say in Zulu or is in close? Anything you want me to say.
You said 5. I was waiting for you to name all 5.
You've been living there for a long.
Yeah, that's what's up. So far, I've been to Morogoro, and then I'm gonna be actually traveling soon. So I will definitely post some videos for y'all, and in the new year, you'll see where it is that I'm gonna be going. So I'll be traveling again soon.
In the different cities that we're in. I'm gonna tell you, I tell people this right here. If you ever want to know anything about a city or want somebody who's very well connected in cities and know people, get with the barbers or beauticians, because back then we cut everybody's head. I mean, I've cut mayor's heads, the police chiefs' heads, and fire chiefs, and some of the delegates, and it's like every time I heard people who was in need looking for jobs, wherever, I knew exactly where to send them. If you could just be honest, because everybody wants to be told the truth.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a liar, man, to up in your face telling you this and that, and then all of a sudden you tell them, "Hey, can I hold your car? Can I borrow $500?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm doing a business deal. Can you help me out? Please get out of here, man. You ain't never been on it." So this is the issue, and you're so right, man, when you say a lot of us black folk don't want the truth. We are so sensitive. Instead of calling a spade, they rather say, come on, man, you just whining. No. A thief is a thief all day long. A scammer is a scammer all day long. And nobody likes to be in that position. Nobody does.
Yeah, but you know what? Go Black Africa. Don't quit. It can be very challenging. And one thing I can tell you, people that have created like a certain culture, like and sometimes some people even praise each other, like, how did you